So here we are again, right back where we left off, talking about Meghan Markle. And with every passing day, it becomes more glaringly obvious that she's crafted herself into the queen of a very specific kind of performance. Not royalty, not motherhood, not charity, but cosplay. And not just any cosplay. Meghan has become the undisputed queen of playing pretend as Princess Diana. Her recent photos from Disneyland have thrown this eerie obsession into the spotlight once again, only this time it's more blatant than ever before. If this was fiction, people would call it too on the nose. But it's real, and it's playing out in front of millions. It started with what seemed like innocent social media posts, pictures of Meghan and Harry visiting Disneyland with their kids. But the internet noticed something off. The way Meghan posed, smiled, even the angle of her head. It was identical to old photos of Princess Diana enjoying time with her own children on amusement park rides. This wasn't a subtle inspiration or a passing resemblance. It was deliberate mimicry, down to facial expressions and exact body language. When side-by-side comparisons of Diana and Meghan began circulating, people weren't sure whether to laugh or be disturbed, because this wasn't homage, it was replication. And then came the cleanup. Almost immediately after the internet erupted with critique and mockery over Meghan's Diana cosplay, a flood of wholesome family images began appearing. Smiling snapshots at Disney, picturesque moments with Harry and the kids. But to many, the timing was just a little too perfect. This wasn't a random dump of family memories, it was textbook damage control. And it was done in a way that felt more like the rollout of a PR campaign than a family outing. The daily drip of curated videos and photos felt like something pulled straight out of a reality show playbook, except this time, the streaming service was social media and legacy press. The disturbing part, according to many royal watchers, isn't just the frequency or presentation, it's the psychodrama playing underneath the surface. Because Meghan's fixation with Diana seems less about admiration and more about appropriation. It raises questions that veer into psychological territory. How many hours has she spent studying Diana's posture, her smiles, her motherly gestures? How many times has she rehearsed these poses in front of a mirror? How much of her public identity is original and how much is borrowed? Royal experts have weighed in with concern. Diana, they remind us, earned her place in public affection not through image manipulation, but through authentic connection. Her charity work, her vulnerability, her kindness, those things were real. That's why people loved her. Meghan, by contrast, appears to be reverse engineering that legacy, trying to recreate the result without earning it through substance. But no one can fake what Diana had. And every time Meghan attempts to do so, it backfires. Because authenticity can't be copied. And the more she tries, the more hollow it looks. There's also another layer, perhaps the most unsettling one. Some have speculated that Meghan's Diana obsession isn't just about public image, but about feeding into Harry's deep emotional wounds. Harry, who has always been open about how profoundly his mother's death impacted him, may be especially vulnerable to someone who can echo Diana's presence. Is Meghan consciously leaning into this resemblance to maintain control in the relationship? It's impossible to say definitively, but the idea has circulated for years. Whatever the case, the result is something that feels manipulative and very strange. But it doesn't stop there. Because if the cosplay wasn't enough, the Disneyland pictures also sparked another controversy. One that had nothing to do with Diana and everything to do with their children. Specifically, how the Sussexes handle their kids' public presence. In the images, the children's faces are strategically hidden, blurred, or turned away. Piers Morgan was among the first to call out the hypocrisy. If you want privacy, don't post. If you want to post, accept the loss of privacy. But Meghan and Harry seem to want both. They want the PR glow of being seen as doting parents without allowing their children to be seen at all. This isn't a new critique. The Sussexes have long played this game, offering glimpses into their family life just enough to keep the public intrigued, while scolding anyone who dares to show too much interest. It's a carefully controlled contradiction, one that doesn't sit well with people. It reeks of manipulation, of wanting to leverage parenthood without fully living it in the public eye. And that contradiction was on full display in the Disneyland set. In one image, Meghan and Harry appear with their kids, but they look disengaged, distant. The children don't seem particularly joyful, and Archie in particular seems disconnected. It doesn't scream family fun. It screams photo you op. And the public has noticed. Because for a family that supposedly treasures privacy, they certainly seem to know how to stage a perfect Instagram-ready family moment. Then came the speculation about the trip itself. Was it even their idea? Despite living in California, this was apparently their first visit to Disneyland. That in itself raised eyebrows. Why this trip? Some suspect the vacation was comped, possibly gifted as part of some behind-the-scenes deal. And there are more red flags, like the fact that no one at one of the busiest theme parks in the country spotted them. No guest photos, no public sightings, no casual mentions online. It's unheard of. When celebrities go to Disneyland, even discreetly, someone usually sees them. But not this time. And yet, there are explanations. VIP packages that allow access before the park opens, secret entrances and exits, staff escorts. Meghan and Harry reportedly stayed in Disney's exclusive $22,000 a night apartment, a suite so luxurious and private that it would make sense why no one saw them. But the lack of public confirmation just added to the air of suspicion surrounding the trip. It all felt too artificial, too orchestrated. Even more troubling is what's becoming clear through Meghan's public statements. There is a glaring, undeniable pattern of favoritism toward their daughter, Lilibet. In interviews and promotional material, Meghan constantly refers to leaving a legacy for Lily. Not for her children in general, just Lily. She wants her brand to reflect Lily. She wants Lily in her promotional photos. She gives Lily 2 birthday posts, each with loving moments. Archie? He gets one image, alone, looking out at the sea. That contrast is not just stark, it's painful. It suggests something deeper. A divide in affection, a troubling bias. Meghan's public comments reflect a pattern that some interpret as toxic feminism, the idea that to elevate women, boys must be diminished. Whether or not that's the intent, that's how it's landing. And the message isn't subtle, it's right there for the world to see. People who followed Meghan's journey have long questioned her approach to motherhood, but now there's a growing concern that her ideological leanings are creating a deeply unhealthy dynamic between her children. Harry, for his part, appears to be overcompensating, clinging more tightly to Archie as Meghan focuses on Lily, trying to balance the scales emotionally. But it's not working, not in the public's eyes. And what does that mean for Archie? For a young boy growing up in a world where he watches his sister celebrated, spotlighted, and doted upon while he's relegated to the background? If this continues, the psychological toll could be enormous. Children sense these things. They remember them. And if Meghan continues to elevate Lily in every public-facing gesture, Archie is going to feel that difference deeply.